Hello everyone and welcome to my CS24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Curse of Oak Island, Secretive Religious Order's treasure link gains credibility with new swamp clues. In The Curse of Oak Island Season 12, Episode 20, the team reveals more evidence of possible involvement of the Knights of Malta. As traditional excavations yield limited results, the team shifts its attention to historical theories and compelling artifacts that suggest a secretive religious order may have left its mark on the island. The swamp, long suspected to be man-made, has become the epicenter of this historical intrigue. Researchers are now pointing to 18th century documents and relics found on Lot 5 as evidence of a possible link between Oak Island and the powerful military order. Combined with previous discoveries, the theory adds another layer to the island's complex history. Could the Knights of Malta have once hidden a great treasure on Oak Island? In a compelling segment of Episode 20, researcher John Edwards and author Scott Clark present 18th century books that suggest a connection between Oak Island and two powerful medieval orders, the Knights Templar and their successors, the Knights of Malta. Among the texts is a hand-drawn map of Oak Island featuring a structure that bears a striking resemblance to the brick vault previously uncovered in the swamp. This revelation supports Clark's long-held theory that remnants of Templar or Maltese activity are hidden on the island. Researcher Judy Rude Bush looked into Edwards' books and explained how the secretive society may have come to the island. She argues that these groups, known for their wealth, secrecy, and engineering capabilities, had both motive and means to bury treasure far from prying eyes. The potential for a Templar or Maltese presence on Oak Island offers an explanation for both the scale of the island's underground workings and enduring secrecy surrounding them. Judy theorizes that Isaac de Razilly and the Knights of Malta may have come to Oak Island in the 16th century after camping nearby. The team's ongoing excavation of Lot 5 has produced more clues backing this theory. In addition to the previously discovered military-style button resembling those worn by the Knights of Malta, the latest find, a pink glass bead, matches another found earlier in the season. Experts suggest the beads may date back to the 17th century, reinforcing the theory that European visitors arrived on the island long before modern settlements. Gary Drayton, Oak Island's resident metal detecting expert, believes these items were not left by chance. The button's design in particular has been compared side by side with Maltese uniforms from centuries past, and the resemblance is difficult to ignore. With more pieces of the puzzle coming together, the Knights of Malta hypothesis is gaining traction among both the team and fans of the show. For over a decade, The Curse of Oak Island has gripped viewers with tales of buried treasure, ancient relics, and whispered legends stretching back centuries. But today, the Oak Island team made headlines across the archaeological world with a revelation that may finally connect the mystery of the island's swamp to a shadowy religious order, the Knights Templar. Rick Lagina, visibly emotional, stood alongside Brother Marty and longtime metal detecting expert Gary Drayton as the group unveiled the latest find, a series of intricately carved stone fragments buried deep within the swamp's peat layers. But these weren't ordinary stones. They bore symbols eerily similar to those found in Templar strongholds across Europe. "This is a game changer," Rick said during a special press conference filmed for the upcoming episode. "We've always believed there was a religious component to the Oak Island mystery, and now we may have the evidence to support it." The discovery. The breakthrough came after weeks of digging in an area of the swamp previously deemed unremarkable. Thanks to ground-penetrating radar and some creative intuition from new team member and historian Lily Wexler, the crew returned to a shallow section known as the Eye of the Swamp, where odd circular formations had appeared on aerial imaging. "It looked like a natural spring," Lily explained, "but I was reviewing medieval Templar water layouts and realized the geometry was too precise. It mimicked patterns seen in Templar baptistries, circular, concentric, sacred in design." After 2 days of careful excavation, the team unearthed 5 stone slabs aligned in a semicircle. Carved into each were symbols. A cross-patee, a solar star, a Latin inscription translated to read, "In truth we are bound," and two smaller glyphs yet to be deciphered. Soil samples dated the stone's placement to the late 13th century, precisely the era when the Templars were at their peak in Europe. Why the swamp matters. The Oak Island swamp has long been a place of suspicion. Originally thought to be natural, the swamp's symmetry and strange construction have always puzzled the Laginus. Over the seasons, they've pulled out timber tunnels, man-made platforms, and even ship pieces from the muck. But this latest find goes beyond engineering. It suggests ritual. Dr. Ian Spooner, the team's resident geoscientist, believes the swamp was deliberately engineered to conceal or protect something. The placement of these stones, the specific depth, and the sediment composition all suggest the area was altered with intention, not just to hide but to sanctify. Some team members even speculated that the swamp could have once been a dry ceremonial site before being flooded by design, a theory supported by the unnatural damming evidence found years prior. The Templar connection strengthens. For years, theorists have speculated that the Knights Templar, excommunicated and hunted by the Church in the early 1300s, fled with untold wealth. Some believe their escape led them across the Atlantic to Nova Scotia, using ancient navigational knowledge and clandestine routes. Until now, much of that theory rested on circumstantial evidence, documents, symbols on stones, tales passed down in secret. But the swamp carvings offer the first tangible, datable proof of a potential Templar presence. "This goes beyond folklore," said Charles Barkhouse, longtime researcher on the show. "We're talking about physical artifacts, inscribed with known Templar motifs, buried with purpose on an island long linked to legends of hidden treasure." Marty Lagina, ever the skeptic, remained cautiously optimistic. "It's compelling, yes, but we have to stay grounded. We need to analyze everything, the stone type, tool marks, even the exact translation of the Latin. But I'll admit, this is the closest we've been to a true historical link. A religious sanctuary or a treasure vault. The biggest question now, was Oak Island a Templar sanctuary or a vault for something more? If the swamp was used as a sacred space, it could suggest the Knights brought not just gold or jewels, but something of immense spiritual value. Rick Lagina hinted at this possibility. There are stories that the Templars carried more than treasure, sacred scrolls, relics, maybe even objects tied to early Christianity. What if Oak Island wasn't just a hiding place, but a final resting ground for something holy?